MLB fired umpire Pat Hoberg. Not for no reason, by the way. It's because he was sharing a betting account with a friend who was betting on baseball. Whoa. Okay, so
Whoops.
they did say, this is according to Bob Nightingale, said there's not any evidence showing Hoberg bet on baseball. But
Sure,
actually,
Bob.
sorry, not Bob. This was not Bob Nightingale. This is Jesse
Oh,
Rogers.
okay.
Yeah, he said there's not any evidence showing Hoberg bet on baseball, but he also deleted messages central to MLB's investigation. So if he did, those messages are gone. It's kind of like when Tom Brady smashed his phone because he's accused of deflating footballs. It's like, well, you
Right.
can't see him now. You know.
Except you
So
can.
yeah, yeah. So there's a chance that maybe Pat Hoberg was, but the thing is like we can't ever forget that Pat Hoberg is the guy who called a perfect game of balls and strikes in the World Series, Game 2 of the World Series, 2022 between the Astros and Phillies. Like that is a thing that happened. He is widely regarded as one of the best umpires at calling balls and strikes. So if he was betting on baseball, it certainly wasn't the games that he was calling. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not justifying saying that it's okay, but I'm saying like I I don't think that that's the case unless you want
It
to
would
go
be
back
difficult.
and look at all of his scorecards and be like, oh, wow, this was an exceptionally bad game for Pat Hoberg. Maybe you had money on this game. Or this is another game where he, a little questionable on those late inning calls. Maybe he had money there. But generally speaking, with Pat Hoberg, very good at calling balls and strikes. At the very part of the game where he could influence easily,
Oh, yeah.
seemed to have kept it pretty straight. But that being said, kids, don't share a betting account with your friends if you work in an industry where you're not supposed to bet on a certain sport because you lose your job.
Hello? Why is this complicated? Why is this complicated? Why do we have to keep revisiting baseball and betting? If they're anywhere near each other, then you're wrong.
Because
I don't
this
care.
is the thing, Brig. Is because there is a chance. So, I mean, it's the exact same reason that inside trading is a thing,
I know.
right? I don't
I
see a
know
whole lot of a
why.
difference personally between the stock market and betting on sports. Like I know that there is, and people are gonna be like, "You're crazy for that." But personally, I don't see a whole lot of a difference because you're gambling on both. One just happens to return at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on a game on the Eastern Seaboard, while the other one is a long game, right? Like you're
Yeah.
gambling on both, okay? And there's insider trading there is insider trading because there is a chance to win a whole lot of money or to get a whole lot of money in the stock market. That's why people do that.
Yep.
In sports, if somebody has an inside track to the training room, the clubhouse, for any reason, if somebody has a friend who's an umpire who can give some kind of insight to what's going on the field,
I know.
even if Pat Hoberg called it straight the entire time, he could be like, "Yo, I saw so and so limping the other day."
Yep.
A little bit
That's
of insider information that doesn't show up on an injury report for the rest of us. Which, by the way, that's why we have injury reports, just so everybody knows. Spoiler, but
it.
it doesn't show up on there, right?
Yeah.
But so and so's got a little bit of a limp. This pitcher, I saw him stretching his arm a little bit longer than normal. Seemed a little odd to me. You have a chance to win a whole lot of money really fast.
I know.
And I'm not
And
saying that the insider information is what the problem is. The problem is the integrity of the game.
that's right.
That Pat
Because
Hoberg was attached to it with an opportunity to manipulate the outcome of games. Not even the outcome of games, but if he takes the over on pitchers that day for strikeouts, wide zone. Takes the under, smaller zone. It's that easy.
it is that easy.
And if his buddy is the one who's putting money on it and he knows what bets he's making, that's a problem too.
Yep.
So that's why this happened. And that's why we always have to revisit it because there is a whole lot of money involved in it. And it changes hands
Oh,
really, really fast.
oh, I know. We're looking at $700,000 or so is what is being reported right now. That's
Sometimes
not
I get
small,
scared to make a $7 bet, Brig. If I'm
right?
putting together too big of a parlay, I'm like, let's go 5.
Okay. 7 legs. That should be some kind of bad joke. What has 7 legs and might get, you might end up bankrupt. It's a gambling problem. Parlay.
I did see, I was on DraftKings, I was on Instagram the other day, and these two guys were texting back and forth about their parlays, and so one of them goes, he's like, yeah, I hit my one leg parlay the other day. He's like, wait, you mean like a straight bet? He's like, no, it was a one leg parlay. He's like, yeah, it's a straight bet. He's, no, I'm calling it a one leg parlay.
Yeah, shut up.
So it's like,
Do what I
from
want.
now on, I'm placing one leg parlays.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
So funny.
I love that.
I love it. But if you're going into sports, just don't bet. Just
And if
find a
your
different
friends are
hobby.
betting, don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, you know, on the New
Because this
Heights
guy was
podcast-
deleting text messages. Come on now.
Yeah, so on the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers, I haven't watched it in a while, but I know before Jason Kelsey retired, so they had a betting sponsor. I can't remember what the sports book was, but they had a sponsor, and their producer would give picks. And so while he's giving their picks, they would take their headphones off because they weren't allowed to hear the picks.
Nothing to do with it.
That way they were clear, nothing to do with it. And then they had
Mhm.
like a signal on the screen that he would like wave at and be like, hey, you're good. Put their headphones on. Like they couldn't even hear his picks, even if they had
That's
nothing to do with
awesome.
their games.
I love it.
So
That's
stay
great.
away.
Good for
Stay
them.
away.